You step off the plane at JFK. You've been visiting your children and grandchildren back home for 5 months. You're 71 years old. You've had this green card for over a decade. You've made this trip a dozen times. You hand your green card to the CBP officer. He scans it. The screen beeps red. He looks up at you. Step aside, please. Your heart drops. Another officer walks over with a tablet. Face the camera. Don't smile. Don't move. Click. Your photo is taken. And right here, in this moment, most senior green card holders make the mistake that costs them everything. Because this isn't just a routine security photo. This is the new biometric trap that is catching green card holders at airports right now. And seniors specifically are the ones most at risk. One wrong answer in the next 5 minutes, and you could lose your green card before you even leave the airport. Even after years of living legally in the United States. Even after paying taxes, building a life, raising a family here. I'm Saqib. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what is happening at U.S. airports right now under the new December 26, 2025 biometric rules, why it is especially dangerous for senior green card holders, and the exact words you need to say to protect yourself. Because what you're about to learn, immigration lawyers charge $500 just to explain. Let's go. Here is what changed. On December 26, 2025, the Department of Homeland Security activated a new final rule. It is called the Biometric Entry-Exit Program Expansion. In plain English, it means this. Every single time you enter or leave the United States, CBP now takes your facial photo, not just your fingerprints, your face. And they do not ask for your permission. It is mandatory. This applies to all non-U.S. citizens, green card holders, work visa holders, students, everyone. And here's the part that directly affects seniors. The previous rules had age exemptions. Elderly travelers over 79 years old were exempt from certain biometric requirements. Children under 14 were exempt. Those exemptions are gone. Under the new December 26th rule, nobody is exempt. It does not matter if you are 72 years old or 85 years old. It does not matter if you have held your green card for 20 years without a single issue. When you walk through that airport, your face is being captured, stored, and tracked. Now here's what most people, and especially most seniors, do not fully understand about what this photo actually means. This is not just a security checkpoint photo that gets deleted after you clear customs. This is a tracking system. Your photo goes into a massive federal database. It stays there for 75 years. Every time you enter the United States, the system records the exact date, the exact time, and the location of entry. Every time you exit the United States, same thing. Date, time, location. The government now has a perfect automatic digital timeline of your entire travel history, and the system does not need a human being to review it. It flags you automatically. Now, I need to explain something that is critical for seniors to understand, and I want you to hear this very carefully because this is where the specific danger for older travelers comes in. U.S. law says that as a green card holder, you cannot abandon your U.S. residence. If you stay outside the United States for too long, you can lose your permanent resident status. The general rule of thumb that most people know is, do not stay outside the U.S. for more than 6 months at a time. But here is the reality of life for many senior green card holders. You have aging parents abroad who need care. You have a spouse who may not have a green card yet. You have grandchildren you want to spend real time with, not just a 2-week visit. You may have had a health crisis of your own while you were traveling. You may have gone for what you thought would be a 3-month stay, and ended up staying 6.5 months because life happened. Before this new biometric system, the government had to prove that you abandoned your residence. They needed evidence. They needed to ask you questions and build a case. There was a process. There was human judgment involved. Now they don't need any of that. The computer already knows. You were gone for 6 months and 10 days. The proof is sitting in the system the moment you walk up to the officer's desk. A red flag appears on the screen automatically. The trap is already sprung before you've said a single word. And here's the thing that makes this so painful for seniors specifically. Many older travelers have been making the same trip, back and forth to the same country, visiting the same family. For years, or even decades, they have never had a problem. They have always come back. They have always paid their taxes. They have always maintained their home in the United States. But in all those years, there was no system automatically clocking every single day they spent outside the country. Now there is. And if the system shows you were gone for 187 days instead of 183 days, it does not matter how loyal you have been. The flag goes up. Let me walk you through exactly what this looks like in practice, because understanding this scenario could save your green card. A senior green card holder, let's say a 68-year-old grandmother, Comes back after spending time abroad caring for her elderly sister who had a health emergency. She was gone for about 6.5 months. She is not worried. She has had this green card for 12 years. She has never had any immigration issues. She has a home in the U.S. Her adult children are here. She pays U.S. taxes. She hands over her green card at the border. The officer scans it. The biometric photo is taken. The screen shows, outside U.S., 198 days. The officer looks up. Ma'am, I see you are outside the United States for over 6 months. Can you tell me why? And here is where 90% of people, and especially seniors, make the critical mistake. They panic. They are polite. They are cooperative. They want to explain. They talk. Oh, my sister was very sick. I had to stay and take care of her. I didn't mean to stay so long. I have my home here. My children are here. I wasn't trying to leave permanently. I've had this green card for 12 years. I always come back. I would never abandon my home here. Please, I didn't know it would be a problem. The officer writes everything down. Every single word becomes evidence. And here is the devastating part. In immigration law, what you say and how you say it determines your intent. And intent is everything. When she said, I had to stay to take care of my sister, the officer writes, subject prioritized foreign family obligations over U.S. residents. When she said, I didn't know it would be a problem, the officer writes, subject demonstrates unfamiliarity with lawful permanent resident obligations. When she said, my sister was very sick, the officer writes, subject maintains close family ties and caregiving responsibilities abroad. She came in thinking she was explaining herself out of trouble. She was actually building the case against herself. Within 10 minutes, she is told her green card is being flagged for possible abandonment. She is referred to an immigration judge. Her green card, 12 years of legal residence, a life built in the United States, is now in jeopardy. This is happening right now, at airports, across America, to seniors who have done nothing wrong. Now let me tell you about the law that is on your side. Because you do have protection. You just have to know how to use it. It is called the totality of circumstances test. This is the legal standard that immigration law requires the government to use when determining whether a green card holder has abandoned their residence. And what it means is this: being outside the United States for more than 6 months does not automatically mean you have abandoned your residence. The government is legally required to look at the full picture. Do you have a home in the United States? Do you pay U.S. taxes? Do you have immediate family here, a spouse, children, grandchildren? Do you have a bank account, a doctor, community ties here? Did you have a legitimate reason for your extended stay? And most importantly, did you always intend to return and maintain your U.S. residence? All of those factors work in your favor. That is your shield. But here's the problem that so many seniors run into. If you start talking too much at that desk, if you start explaining and volunteering information and telling your whole story to the officer, you are handing them ammunition to use against you. You are giving them the facts that hurt you, not the facts that help you. The CBP officer is not there to understand your situation. He is not there to hear your story and feel sympathy. He is there to enforce immigration law. And now, with this biometric system, he has a computer screen already showing him the number of days you were gone. His job just got much easier. Your job just got much harder. This is what I call the silent shield strategy. And for senior travelers especially, I want you to memorize this before you get on a plane. You have the legal right to not answer questions that could hurt your immigration status. You are not required to give a long explanation. You are not required to tell your life story. You are not required to justify every day you spent abroad. I am not telling you to refuse to talk at all. That creates a different problem. What I am telling you is to give short, calm, factual answers. No stories, no emotions, no explanations that go beyond what was directly asked. Answer only what is asked, nothing more. Here is your step-by-step plan. Write this down. Practice it before you travel. When they direct you to face the camera, you cooperate. Do not refuse. Do not ask if you can skip it. Under the December 26, 2025 rule, this is mandatory for everyone. If you refuse, you will be detained, you could miss your connection, and it will create a significant problem that will follow you in the system. Just take the photo. Stay calm. Breathe. Hand over your green card. Answer basic identification questions truthfully and briefly. What is your name? Answer. Where do you live? Give your U.S. address, not your address abroad. Where are you coming from? Name the country. Nothing else. 1 sentence per answer. No extra details. No volunteering of information. The officer says, I see you were outside the United States for 6 months and 15 days. Why? Here is what you say. I was visiting family. I always intended to return to my home in the United States. That is it. Full stop. Do not add anything. Do not explain further. Do not mention your sister, your medical situation, your grandchildren, how long you've had your green card. Nothing. You answered the question. You stated your legal intent, which is the key word in immigration law. You stopped talking. If the officer asks a follow-up, why did you stay so long? You say, family circumstances required my presence. My residence is in the United States and I maintained my ties here. If the officer asks, what ties? You say, I have a home here. I pay taxes here. Add, I work here, only if it is true and applicable to your situation. This is a red flag. He is building a file. Stay calm. Do not panic. Do not start explaining more to try to make it better. That will make it worse. If he says he needs to refer you to secondary inspection, you say clearly and calmly, I understand. I would like to speak with a supervisor or have access to legal counsel before answering additional questions. This is your magic sentence. You did not refuse to cooperate. You did not lie. You simply exercised your right to have legal guidance before answering further questions. This one sentence can stop a situation from escalating. If you are taken to the back room, the stakes are now higher. They may present you with a form that says you are voluntarily abandoning your green card. Do not sign anything without reading it fully and understanding exactly what it says. You say, I do not wish to abandon my residence. I would like to contact an immigration attorney before I sign any documents. If they pressure you, and some officers will, you repeat calmly, I want to speak to an attorney. You can repeat this as many times as necessary. You are not being difficult. You are protecting your legal rights. If they tell you they are taking your green card, you say clearly, I request a hearing before an immigration judge to contest this decision. This is your legal right under Section 240 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. They cannot deport you. They cannot strip your permanent resident status without giving you a hearing before an immigration judge. Your green card gives you that protection. Write this sentence down. Practice saying it out loud. I request a hearing before an immigration judge. Now I want to talk about what you should be doing before you get on a plane. Because the absolute worst time to learn about these rules is when you are standing in front of a CBP officer with a red screen flashing. If you know you are going to be outside the United States for more than 4 months, especially if there is any chance that trip could extend, talk to an immigration attorney before you leave, not when you come back, before you go. There is a document called a re-entry permit. It is filed with USCIS before you depart, and it gives you documented official protection for extended absences of up to 2 years. For senior green card holders who need to spend extended time abroad for family caregiving, health reasons, or other legitimate needs, this document is enormously valuable. It is essentially your insurance policy. Get it before you need it. You should also document your ties to the United States in writing before you travel. Keep copies of your lease or mortgage. Keep copies of your most recent tax return. Keep records of your U.S. bank accounts, your U.S. doctor, your utility bills, anything that shows the United States is your true permanent home. If the issue ever comes up at a port of entry or before an immigration judge, that documentation can be the difference between keeping your green card and losing it. And one more thing I want to say directly to senior travelers. I know that some of you are thinking, I'll just stop traveling. Problem solved. I understand that instinct, but that is not a real solution. Life does not give us the option to stop traveling on demand. A parent gets sick, a sibling needs help, a grandchild is born. A health situation of your own arises. The moment life forces you to travel, and it will, you need to be prepared. The system does not care about your intentions. It only sees data. Your preparation is the only thing that protects you. I also need to tell you where the system is heading, because it is not staying where it is now. In 2026, USCIS is expanding the biometric program to include voice analysis and advanced facial matching technology. They are connecting airport entry and exit data with your original immigration application data, which means this. If you filed for your green card and stated that you intended to make the United States your permanent home, and the biometric system shows that you have been spending 7 or 8 months a year abroad, that discrepancy is going to be flagged automatically. The system will catch it. This is Biometrics 2.0. And it is specifically designed to close every gap that existed in the old system. The gap where human officers had to manually track travel histories. The gap where people could explain their situation and get the benefit of the doubt. Those gaps are closing. The only thing that protects you going forward is knowledge and preparation. Knowing your rights does not make you a troublemaker. It does not make you a criminal. It does not mean you are trying to get away with something. It means you are a smart, informed person protecting a status that you earned and that you deserve to keep. The U.S. government has billions of dollars, thousands of trained officers, and the most advanced tracking technology ever deployed at a border. You have this video. You have knowledge. And knowledge is the only thing that levels the playing field. I made this video because I am tired of seeing good people, hardworking, law-abiding, tax-paying green card holders, lose their status over mistakes that could have been completely avoided. I am especially tired of seeing seniors, people who have spent a decade or more building a life in this country, lose everything in a 10-minute conversation at an airport because nobody ever told them these rules. You deserve to know what is happening. You deserve to protect yourself. Number 1. Share this video with every senior green card holder you know. Send it to your family group chat. Share it in your community groups, your church, your cultural organizations. This information could genuinely save someone's green card and their life in this country. Number 2. Subscribe to Global Immigration Updates. I'm going to keep making these videos every single time there is a new rule, a new development, a new trap that green card holders need to know about. You need to stay updated, and I am going to make sure you do. Number 3. If you or someone you know is planning to travel outside the United States for more than 3 months, especially a senior traveler, watch my next video about re-entry permits. I will link it in the description. That video could be the most important thing a senior traveler watches before they buy their ticket. And finally, leave a comment below. Tell me your situation. Are you a senior green card holder worried about the biometric system? Have you been outside the U.S. for an extended period? Are you planning a long trip to visit family? Let me know. I read every single comment, and I will make videos to answer your specific questions. Remember, the trap is real. The biometric system is watching, and it removed the age exemptions that used to protect senior travelers. But now you are ready. Stay protected. Stay informed. This is Saqib, and I will see you in the next one.